At this point, just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter. Cousins completes this to Jefferson. He's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Cousins to throw. And that is incomplete. Well, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
Whew, that's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle, so they're ready if a tackle happens inbounds.
Back to the ground, Cook. And not much running room. Down to the 32. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in the fourth. A field goal try would be almost 50 yards from this spot, so what can they do to get closer now on 3rd down? They run it again with Cook. And he's going to get this to the 31, but that is still well short of what he needed. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down. A little extra pressure with this one for Greg Joseph. This to potentially send us to overtime. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. The kick by Joseph is good. And that will tie this game here in the final minute of play. Well, he was a spectator for much of this game. This is his first field goal opportunity of the entire contest, but he's able to connect.
Yeah, he had a pretty good seat to this one, didn't he? But let's face it, all kickers that you and I know, they want to contribute. They want their opportunity, and he seized his.
The Browns drive about to get started. They have a little bit of time here to get into field goal range. Not much. In a tie game, you don't want to do anything crazy, right?
I agree with you on that one. Risk reward, okay? If you go for it, what is the absolute reward on this? But the risk is probably greater. Run the clock out, get to overtime, and try and win it there.
All right, we'll see if they do just that. And we have free football. Overtime. Here we go, my friend.
And the way this game played out.
Overtime in a playoff game. Awesome setup. Remember, the rules the same as they would be in the regular season.
That's exactly right, Brandon. Remember, the receiving team, if they score a touchdown, game is over. But if they kick a field goal or don't score, the other team gets a chance to get the football. They get a possession. If they go down and score, they win the football game at that point. If both teams kick field goals, we keep playing. If a defense scores, let's say the receiving team gets the ball, doesn't score, or they throw a pick six or fumble, gets picked up, the defense scores, game over. But here's the best part. In the regular season, only 1 period is played. We could call it a tie. Here, we're going to play until we have a winner.
The Browns drive about to get started. They're set for their first drive here in overtime, and this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, that gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants to be involved and help their team, and that first drive can dictate the whole thing, because they know if this team takes it downfield and scores a touchdown, it's game over.
And it's been loud in here so far. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves him with a 3rd and 3.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. And they will get the conversion on 3rd down, but the clock, a more pressing factor. Now another timeout called for by the offense. They'll be left with just 1 remaining here at OT. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Handoff comes to Chubb. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. And now with 6 seconds left in overtime, they're going to take a timeout. A give. This is Chubb. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43. So the OT clock hits 0, and we're still not done. We'll switch sides and need at least one more OT to decide it after this. Second and 4. A run for Nick Chubb. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. They've had some success here in overtime in this opening drive running the football. Right back to that well.
And why not? When you have that kind of success, make them stop you. And until they do, keep going back to that well you just spoke about. I think there's more water there and available to them.
On the carry, it's Chubb. 82 yards rushing for him now as he was just trying to will his guys to an overtime victory.
Hey, when you get good yardage like that on first down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. Overtime, how about 2? We need another. We're still even. We'll switch sides and have that second overtime in just a moment. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. On the ground, it's Chubb. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. And I know you, with every carry, especially in overtime, you're just saying, if you're that ball carrier, hold on to the football.
Hold on to it, protect it, but not necessarily settling, because you're trying to get to the end zone. You're trying to end the game right here. And I know the defensive guys poking, clawing, raking, trying to knock the ball free and protect their end zone.
Yeah, like you alluded to, especially this part of the field. So a big play in this opening drive of overtime. Now looking at a 3rd and 3. Chubb. And he'll have the first down, getting this one to the 14-yard line. And with just 9 seconds left in overtime, we get whistles and a timeout. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. They run. Chubb. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. And a timeout now here in overtime with 4 seconds remaining. Ball at the 6 here as they work with a 2nd and 2. Now Chubb. And he's into the end zone. Move over, James White. You've got a new rival for best finish to a Super Bowl ever. As the fans exit back out through the turnstiles, not happy looks on their faces. Feel like they probably let this one slip away at home in overtime.
I would agree with that, and their unhappiness hurts the guys at the concession stands on the way out, right? Not stopping to buy something for the kids. They just want to get home. But what a dramatic way to finish this bad boy off. I mean, this game was dramatic all the way through. That's why we got to overtime. And then to go ahead and finish it this way, the fans streaming out unhappy. But the team that came in here and won this one on the road, they sprinted to their locker room.
And speaking of buying things, dinner on you tonight, Davis.
I kind of figured that was coming.